Good morning, everyone. My name is Armand Serrano. I grew up in Manila. I was born in Manila, Manila, Philippines, guys, at the other side of the world. I've been drawing, as my mom would say, I've been drawing since I was 2 years old. I never planned to be in animation, but it just so happened that I love to draw. I took something else in college, but after college, I guess animation met me, and I, I went for it, and I'm here. You know, I'm here in the industry. I've been working in the industry for. I'm celebrating my 30th year. You know, when you say storytelling, it's interesting because we use the word composition as a key, right? You know, you compose things on the screen, and people sometimes take that for granted. What is composition? What is what artists sometimes don't know, and I fell into this trap before because I wasn't really taught what composition really is all about. And it's like making music. It's like or chemistry. You know, we use that word composition too. That you have to have the right elements in order to create water, right? You have to have the right elements and molecules to have salt. Same thing with music. You have to have the right tone, you know, pitch, key, and harmony, and where you place those notes matter. You know, for this instrument, for that instrument, for that instrument, for this instrument, you have your own elements that you put in certain areas in that bar to make the music that the composer, you as a composer, wanted to partake to your audience, so they would perceive the emotion, the story that you want to tell through your music. And I think people, they detach that, but actually it's exactly the same as in art. You know, when you have to you have to tell the right story by, you know, the right emotion. And we have four elements. I teach that. You know, you got the four elements of composition wherein we have to learn how to use. You know, there's no way around it. You have to learn how to do those. Number one, perspective, which is your camera. Number two would be your lighting, which is your values, your staging, how you place your elements in the shot. And number four would be your color. So there's no way around it. Every biz dev artist has to, somehow that's their goal, is to master those four, not individually, but as a cohesive tools or instruments, musical instruments, that if I have this combination of these elements in this way and that way, it will tell the right story. So in a way, you're trying to control the minds of your audience, that what's in your mind, what's your intent, they will get it. It's like telling a joke, right? When you tell a joke, they didn't laugh, it means you told it the wrong way. The joke is right. You're just telling it the wrong way. Same thing with illustration or moving images. If you tell it right, they would get it. So that's, for me, it's really it takes training and hard work and knowing what those four elements are in order for you to be able to give the right music, the right instruments, and the right notations and the right emotion coming from that when you tell that to your audience. So yeah, for me, I think that's the practical side of it. Is mastering those four, and in order to control the minds of your audience, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I think there's it's a natural transition, because I mean, in anything that we do, I mean, we can have a really good looking film, but if the story sucks, nobody's gonna watch it. And but sometimes, if the story is so strong, and even visually, it's not as strong as you would want it to be, it would make it. It's because the story is king. That's basically it. You know, at Disney, I've learned the three elements of a successful film would be a compelling story. Number one, first and foremost, it's all about the story. We would spend like the 5 years of movies being made, 2 years, 3 years of that would all about just developing the story. And after the story would be, you gotta have appealing characters. You know, you get married to Anna, to Elsa, to the characters. You don't Nobody cares about, no kids said like, "Hey, mom, look at those beautiful mountains at the back." I haven't seen, I think my kids were the only one who does that. But it's about the characters. These are the people that you relate to. Then third would be believable locations and environments. So that's the third one. So in order, if you look at it, number one is always the story. So it just makes sense that the people who handle story artists, the storyboard artists, actually they're really technically called story artists. A storyboard means the storyboard that you put on the wall. It's just evolved from that. But these story artists, they're amazing because the reason why they move into transition into that, because they delve into sections. They know the bigger picture and they know the smaller sections and they know the gags too. So everything about the story is being developed in that group. So it's just natural that they would step up and lead the crew into a strong story. Just the people that I know, like Aaron Blaze, he directed Brother Bear. He's an animator. Bob Walker also co-directed Brother Bear. He's a layout artist. He came from my tribe, so we always rooted for him. Dean Dubois, How to Train Your Dragons, Lilo and Stitch. He's a story artist. At the same time, he was also a layout artist. So it's not impossible for someone coming from a different discipline to cross over and become a director. It's just the natural transition of what you do in order to get that directorial job. But I'm sure any studio, if there's a strong contender, a good storyteller coming from any discipline within production, they would be open to do so. Oh, I love everything. Actually, I'm art directing right now, and I love everything on it. My favorite would be I don't want to say favorite. I think I'm good with everything. If it would take me to work from home as a Vistep, I'll be a Vistep guy. So no, I mean I love every part of it. There's a pros and cons. I'm a hands-on guy, so I like to having people working for me, but at the same time I love to draw, so it's so hard for me sometimes to be on a lot of meetings because I just want to be I want to be in the battle. I want to be creating, but at the same time I love the factor that I'm also coaching another person. And every time I didn't have a lot of chances in doing art direction because most of the time the projects I was supposed to art direct, at least in other studios that I've been, sometimes I would spend like a whole year, then they get canceled, or I spent 2 years and they get put in the back burner. So, but the one thing that my heart on it too is I think my passion there is I want to build up the next generation of artists. So I'm also approaching it as an art director, or I'm also approaching it as a teacher, as a coach, sometimes as a dad. I'm also giving them counseling. But I wanna make sure that when I leave this industry, there will be these people who's gonna continue on the torch, to make good movies and good storytelling.